They hide in plain sight. These women blend seamlessly into the fabric of everyday life, their true nature masked by the roles they play. Mothers, wives, friends. They are the pillars of our communities, the ones we trust and confide in. Their presence is comforting, their actions seemingly benign. Yet beneath the surface lurks a terrifying capacity for violence. Female killers. These women defy the stereotypes, challenging our perceptions of femininity and nurturing. Their motives, often complex and deeply personal, continue to fascinate and horrify. Each case is a puzzle, a dark mystery waiting to be unraveled. What drives them to commit such heinous acts? Driven by jealousy, greed, or a thirst for power, these women shatter the illusion of gentleness, revealing the dark potential that lies dormant within the human heart. Their actions are a stark reminder that evil knows no gender. Their crimes, often meticulously planned and executed, leave a trail of devastation in their wake. The aftermath is a haunting testament to their cunning and ruthlessness. Families torn apart, lives cut tragically short. The ripple effects of their actions are felt far and wide, leaving communities in shock and disbelief. But what drives these women to such extremes? Is it a moment of madness, a lifetime of suppressed rage, or something more sinister? The answers are as varied as the women themselves. What transforms them from seemingly ordinary individuals into cold-blooded killers? The journey from innocence to malevolence is often a twisted path, marked by trauma, manipulation, and a descent into darkness. This is the chilling world we're about to enter, a world where the line between good and evil is blurred, and where the most unsuspecting individuals harbor the darkest secrets. A world where truth is stranger than fiction, and where the pursuit of justice relies on unraveling the twisted minds of those who choose to kill. Join us as we delve into the enigma of female killers, exploring the depths of their psyche and the shadows they cast on society. September 2005. A quiet suburban home in Clay, New York. Stacy Castor calls 911, her voice frantic and filled with panic. Her husband, David, is dead, an apparent suicide. The scene is chaotic, emotions raw and intense. Stacy, grief-stricken, tells authorities David was depressed, had been drinking heavily. But something isn't right. The details don't add up. David's death has a chilling resemblance to the death of Stacy's first husband, Michael Wallace, years earlier. He too was found dead. Suicide, the authorities had ruled. Now suspicion falls upon Stacy. Had she taken the lives of two husbands? Investigators begin to dig into Stacy's past, uncovering a trail of manipulation, deceit, and a sinister plan to claim the lives of those closest to her. The Black Widow of Clay, they called her. But could they prove it in a court of law? June 2008, Mesa, Arizona. The sun blazes down on the quiet suburban streets, where families go about their daily lives, unaware of the dark events that would soon unfold. This peaceful community is about to be rocked by a crime so brutal it would leave an indelible mark on its history. The brutal murder of 30-year-old Travis Alexander shocks the community. Neighbors gather in disbelief, their faces etched with concern and fear. Police cars and crime scene tapes surround the house, a stark contrast to the otherwise serene neighborhood. Stabbed multiple times, shot in the head, his throat slit. The sheer savagery of the attack is almost unimaginable. The police work meticulously, piecing together the events that led to this horrific crime. The savagery of the crime scene is chilling. Blood spatter analysis, forensic evidence, and the sheer brutality of the wounds paint a picture of a frenzied and violent attack. The community is left reeling, struggling to comprehend how such a heinous act could occur in their midst. The prime suspect, his ex-girlfriend, Jodi Arias, a woman who, on the surface, seemed to be an ordinary young photographer, but whose relationship with Travis was anything but ordinary. Arias, a young, attractive photographer, initially denies any involvement. She presents herself as a woman who had moved on from her past relationship with Travis, focusing on her passion for photography and her future. She claims to have last seen Travis weeks before his death. Her demeanor is calm, almost detached, as she recounts their last meeting. But as investigators dig deeper, inconsistencies in her story begin to emerge. But her story begins to unravel as investigators uncover a trove of evidence linking her to the crime scene. Phone records, text messages, and witness statements all point to a different narrative, one that places Arias at the center of the investigation. Photographs, text messages, and a damning piece of evidence, a digital camera discovered in the washing machine at the crime scene, containing images of Travis alive in the shower, followed by gruesome photos of his lifeless body. This camera, once a tool for capturing memories, now holds the key to unraveling the mystery of Travis's death. The case becomes a media sensation. Reporters flock to the courthouse, eager to capture every twist and turn of the trial. News vans line the streets, and the public is captivated by the unfolding drama. Arias, with her ever-changing story and claims of self-defense, becomes both reviled and strangely sympathetic in the eyes of the public. Her courtroom demeanor, her tears, and her pleas of innocence create a complex portrait of a woman caught in a web of lies and deceit. But the evidence is mounting. Each new piece of information, each new revelation brings the investigators closer to the truth. The weight of the evidence against Arias grows heavier with each passing day. Would it be enough to convict her of murder? The courtroom waits with bated breath as the trial reaches its climax. The jury must now decide whether Jodi Arias is guilty of the brutal murder of Travis Alexander, or if her claims of self-defense hold any truth. The fate of a young woman hangs in the balance, and the world watches, waiting for the final verdict. December 2011, Troy, Missouri. A small, quiet town where everyone knows each other, and crime is almost unheard of. But on this cold winter night, the tranquility of Troy is shattered. Betsy Faria is found dead in her home, stabbed over 55 times. The brutality of the crime sends shockwaves through the community. Neighbors are in disbelief, and the police are under immense pressure to find the killer. Her husband, Russ, becomes the prime suspect. He is quickly arrested, and the case seems open and shut. But as the investigation progresses, cracks begin to appear in the seemingly straightforward narrative. But something doesn't sit right with investigators. The evidence against Russ is circumstantial at best, and his alibi is solid. He was with friends watching movies at the time of the murder. The detectives start to dig deeper, looking for any inconsistencies. Enter Pam Hope, a friend of Betsy's who claims to have been with her on the night of the murder. Pam's story initially seems to support the case against Russ, but as investigators probe further, her account begins to unravel. Hope's testimony is confusing, contradictory. She changes her story multiple times, each version more convoluted than the last. Her behavior raises red flags, and the detectives start to suspect that she knows more than she's letting on. She claims to have dropped Betsy off at home, yet phone records place her at the scene of the crime. The timeline she provides doesn't add up, and her phone activity suggests she was in the vicinity much longer than she admits. Furthermore, Hope is the beneficiary of a $150,000 life insurance policy on Betsy, a policy she claims Betsy made her the beneficiary of just days before her death. This revelation adds a financial motive to the mix, making Hope's involvement even more suspicious. Hope insists that Betsy wanted her to have the money to ensure it would be used for her daughters. However, friends and family of Betsy find this claim dubious, as Betsy had never mentioned such plans to anyone else. Years later, after Russ Faria is exonerated, the spotlight falls back on Pam Hope. New evidence and testimonies come to light, painting a much darker picture of Hope's actions and intentions. The media frenzy intensifies as Hope's web of lies begins to unravel. Reporters dig into her past, uncovering a pattern of manipulation, fraud, and a chilling willingness to kill for financial gain. The public is horrified as the true extent of her deception is revealed. Her web of lies begins to unravel, revealing a pattern of manipulation, fraud, and a chilling willingness to kill for financial gain. Hope's actions are scrutinized, and her every move is analyzed by both the authorities and the public. But the road to justice would be long and arduous, marked by prosecutorial missteps and a relentless pursuit of the truth. The case against Hope is complex, with many twists and turns, but the determination to bring her to justice never wavers. The community of Troy, Missouri watches closely, hoping for closure and justice for Betsy Faria.